Game Pass just got a huge upgrade. This secret feature is making a comeback to your Xbox consoles. Xbox players will be playing this PlayStation exclusive for cheaper, and are we finally at the end of the console shortage? Let's discuss. So just a couple of hours ago, IGN tweeted out this article that they wrote up and said, it's finally happened. We've reached a point where you can usually find a new Xbox Series X and S console in stock. Now, Amazon Prime is a monthly subscription service to Amazon, as you might have guessed, that gives you free shipping on things and it gives you access to Amazon Prime Video, their streaming service. But now, if you wanted to buy an Xbox, potentially a new Xbox Series X, a shiny new Xbox to go with the entertainment system, now might be a good time. You can even sign up for a free trial, buy the Xbox, and then cancel your Amazon Prime membership. Now, as you have probably heard, there is a bit of a tech shortage going on right now, and that has translated to these next generation consoles, the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 Claymation. And that has led to this very sad situation where these gamers want a next gen console, an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5, and they can't get one because they're not in stock, they're constantly sold out, scalpers are buying them up and then reselling them for like $1,000, they have a whole garage full of them. It's craziness. People reach out to me all the time, they comment on my videos, they reach out to me on Twitter or on Instagram and they're like, man, it's such a bummer, like I've been looking for an Xbox Series X for like a year and a half. And it's just such a shame because I want these gamers to experience the next gen consoles already. It's never been like this before and it's been very shocking for people, but we may be starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. You know what's cool? This drink that I just pulled out of my Xbox mini fridge that is totally functional. It's plugged in, I promise. You know what else is cool? Subscribing to my channel. Nice. And a lot of people are in agreement that they're starting to see more Xbox Series X consoles out in the wild. Now for the Series S, I've been starting to see those out in retailers like Target, Walmart, Best Buy for a little bit now. Series S consoles are a little bit more widely available. So yeah, it's kind of encouraging to see. I know this is all anecdotal evidence. I know it might be different for people in different regions and different markets, but it is kind of encouraging to see this. This is probably due to a couple things. I'm sure supply is getting a little bit better. Microsoft has stopped productions on Xbox Ones, which probably allows them to focus more on pumping out the Xbox Series X and S. And now I know a lot of people are gonna be saying they're available because no one wants to buy them. No one wants to buy the new Xbox. Boo Xbox. Well, newsflash guys, Xbox Series X and S sales have been closing the gap on PlayStation 5 and even outselling them in certain markets. So you just tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself to sleep at night, all right? People are buying the Xbox Series X. But they also give some other deals going on. For example, they have the Series S available for 10% off. Usually it's $299.99 or $300. And if you use the code MDLBQ29459, you get 10% off and you can buy it for $270 at Newegg, and it has the link right there so you can follow it, buy a Series S for your own if you're interested. So now it's time to talk about a certain Claymation exclusive that has made its way over to Xbox. And no, I'm not talking about Godfall. I'm talking about MLB The Show. It made its way over to Xbox last year for the 2021 version of the game. Previous to that, it had been exclusive to PlayStation for many, many years, but in a landmark deal where the MLB themselves got involved, the game went multi-platform. And overall, I think a lot of people are excited about it. The game is going to be released on April 5th, and you have the option to buy it, of course, but it is going to be coming to Game Pass day one. But you can also use your Game Pass membership to play this game up to 4 days earlier, if you so please, if you so choose. Since the base game will be coming with your Xbox Game Pass subscription, all you gotta do is pay an extra $50 in order to upgrade it to the MVP edition of the game, which gives you early access and all sorts of other stuff. Gamerant says the offer does have its perks, mostly revolving around the in-game content that players can collect. Buying MLB The Show earlier allows players to jump into the game a full 96 hours ahead of everyone else, but it also grants every player 2 gold choice packs 10 show packs, 1 Ballplayer Pack, along with double daily login rewards and 10,000 stubs. Now this is a pretty sweet deal because if you look over to the claymation side, they gotta throw down $85 rather than the $50 that Xbox Game Pass subscribers in order to enjoy all the same perks. Back in November, Forza Horizon 5 did something very similar. If you're a Game Pass subscriber, you can download the base version of the game and then upgrade to like the Ultimate Edition or like the Master Racer Edition, whatever you want to call it. Just pay the difference for that in order to get early access and all sorts of other stuff. It made sense for Forza because it's obviously an Xbox Game Studios game. I'm sort of surprised, pleasantly surprised, I would say, that they're doing the same thing for MLB The Show 2022. Now I gotta be honest with you guys, I do not care about baseball, just like as a person. That might offend a lot of people, I'm very, very sorry. I like attending baseball games live, but baseball video games, watching it on TV, it's just not my thing, you know? And my backlog right now is so backed up on games that I need to play. I need to finish Elden Ring, Tiny Tina Wonderland. The list goes on and on. Like, I think I'm gonna skip MLB The Show 2022. But if you are a fan of the franchise, if you're a fan of baseball in general, I wish you happy gaming. So a couple of weeks ago, Xbox was making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Not really. They had just basically taken away the ability to directly share your screenshots and recording from your Xbox console to Twitter and never made it into the live build. It was something that was being tested for alpha skip-ahead insiders, and it was just a very puzzling move in general. Earlier this year, Microsoft executives came out and said that one of their main focuses this year was to improve DVR and the ability to share gameplay and make it a lot more smoother in general, because right now it's kind of like, it's not so great. I capture all my gameplay footage, whether it be screenshots or recordings that I have of the game I'm playing. I capture it to an external hard drive. So a lot of these features, like sharing to Twitter and sharing to other platforms directly from your console, they're not available to me. I have to take my hard drive out, put it in my computer and share it that way. Or I do have the option to share to OneDrive, and usually that doesn't work for me. And that also made a lot of people mad last time I talked about it. People are like, why are you talking crap about OneDrive? It's a user error, you just gotta figure it out. Whoa, I'm sorry, I didn't know people had such strong opinions about Microsoft OneDrive. But yeah, it got a lot of people talking, especially if you look over at other platforms, the Nintendo Switch, Claymation. They have the ability to share clips and screenshots directly from their console to multiple platforms with ease. This is a total like first world problem, but like why are they making it to where it had this process that could just be like one step? I click a button and it goes from my Xbox to Twitter, it goes from my Xbox to my Instagram story, and breaking it up into multiple steps. And yes, there is a feature where if you take a screenshot on your internal storage for Xbox, it will upload to your Xbox Live account, and you can go to your Xbox app on your phone, go and download that screenshot and then share it to Twitter. But even that is like console to Xbox Live, download it to your phone, and then over to Twitter. It's just kind of like, But apparently Microsoft has heard our complaints. This is another example of how complaining on Twitter and social media worked out for the better. Eurogamer put out an article that says Microsoft has reinstated the ability for Xbox users to share game screenshots and videos directly to Twitter in response to feedback it received after removing the feature from console dashboards in an Xbox Insider build earlier this month. So yeah, this never made it officially into any Xbox updates, but they tried to be sneaky with it. They made no announcement about it. They were kind of ignoring it. And some people were thinking like, what are they trying to do? Like, are they trying to push like their own like sharing service, or maybe like their own video editing app for Windows or Xbox or something like that? But apparently people complaining led them to be like, okay, psych, we're gonna put the feature back in to the Xbox Insider Alpha Skip Ahead whatever program. And everyone rejoiced. Everyone stood up and clapped. Again, this is a total first world problem, I get it, but it just seemed like Microsoft was making it just a little bit more difficult, especially, like I said, when other platforms, they can upload to Twitter no problem directly from their consoles. It's time to talk about Game Pass. I inevitably talk about Game Pass pretty much every episode of my humble little show, and for good reason, because I am a big fan of Game Pass. I feel like a lot of my viewers are a big fan of Game Pass, and the numbers don't lie. It is a popular service. People are interested in a subscription service for games, and now Game Pass is about to get even better. So one of the main complaints about Game Pass is that it had no sort of family plan like other streaming services. For example, I have been on a family plan for Spotify Premium for a long time now. Like, my dad has one family plan for me, my siblings, my mom. Don't tell him I'm telling you this. He probably forgot that I'm on the plan, and he'll probably kick me off if he finds out that I've been mooching off of it. And to a certain extent, you could sort of do that with other streaming services. I know we've all mooched off of a friend or distant family member or an ex-girlfriend's Netflix password or Hulu password just to catch up on our favorite shows. But that's not something you can really do with Xbox Game Pass. It had to be tied to your account, and there was a little bit of sharing going on wherein if you had other profiles on your Xbox console, they could use the benefits of your Xbox Game Pass membership or Xbox Live membership for their own, but it had to be on that same console. Now, Jez Corden over at Windows Central, I feel like I talk about this guy all the time. I'm a big fan of him. He says, "I'd heard about Microsoft's desire to create a family plan quite a while ago at this point, although there were details to work out about how royalties might be distributed and how licenses from third-party publishers would be compensated for users who weren't attached to the main plan. According to trusted sources familiar with Microsoft's efforts, we can now confirm that Xbox is moving ahead with an Xbox Game Pass family plan, which could be set to launch sometime this year." Now, this is something that could be huge. Game Pass, as it is right now, is a great value. You get a lot versus what you pay. And if you were able to take that one subscription to Game Pass and spread it to up to 5 different people, because that's what some of the earlier reports are saying, that you can add up to 5 people under this family plan, that's crazy. Like, the arguments with your boys saying like, "Oh, you should play this game," and they're like, "I don't want to play it," just be like, "Yo, I got one Game Pass subscription, I can share it with 5 other people, and we can all be under this happy gaming umbrella." And now I don't know how they're gonna regulate that. Like, are they gonna put some restrictions on sharing with people outside of your household? Is it gonna be tied to like your physical or IP address? I'm not sure. I think this is great for Xbox and Game Pass as a whole. Anything that makes Game Pass cheaper is good. I think it's beneficial. The more people trying out Game Pass, the more people saying, "Hey, it's only like a couple bucks, or I can share a password with my friend." I think that's like just free marketing for Xbox. Like the title says, I think it's great for anyone who has a family of gamers, and it's great for multiplayer games because all of your friends, theoretically, the way I'm thinking about it right now, of course we don't have the official details of how it's gonna work, but theoretically, you could split one Game Pass membership with all your friends, and you can play all sorts of multiplayer games that you couldn't before. Microsoft obviously needs subscribers to make money for Game Pass, to make the Game Pass model successful, so the more people that you can bring in to that family, make them familiar with the service, the better it is for Microsoft. Again, we don't have too many details on what the family plan is actually going to look like. Is there going to be a price increase? Is it going to be tied to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate? How is it going to look with cloud gaming and how that integrates with everything? We don't really know yet, so we'll keep an eye on it, and I will update you with any further information that I gain.